Hey man, welcome back to the channel, man. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, man. Go ahead and comment as we go along. I'm gonna explain everything to y'all. Just watch this whole video, man. So look, Young Thug, man, and Gunna, man, they got caught up. So everybody just kind of waiting to see who gonna tell first. Nobody, they looking at 100 years each. They're looking at life each. So it's just gonna be up to whoever want to come out and speak first. Like, obviously, nobody, like, none of us over here believe in, telling on people and none of that. Like, you should just, stand on what your own thing. But at the end of the day, man, if neither of them say nothing, they both gonna get the 100 years. All their homies is gonna get all life, and everything is gonna look bad. So right now, man, it's like a waiting game to see who's gonna cough up all the information first. Because when you really break it down and look at it and you realize what's going on, you gonna understand how Young Thug is the top dog, man. Young Thug is technically the ringleader in this whole thing. And so when they put Gunna in that interrogation room, he's already knowing he's not the operator of this whole thing. He's not the guy that's making all the money from this YSL. He's not the guy that gets to call all the shots. He's not the person who has all the power to tell people to do this, do that, go here, go there, And he's not the ones who made all the connections to be able to get somebody on the inside to try to touch YFN Lucci. And at the end of the day, it's somebody that already told on all of them about the whole YFN Lucci situation. How would they have found out that it was YSL or Young Dolph that sent a hit? How would they know it's YSL or Young Thug that sent a hit? If everybody is supposed to be locked up, who was the person that intercepted the communications or was told or had told on? Because if they did try something and try to touch YFN Lucci in the jail, then they must have had a fight and somebody got in trouble. So the guy that got in trouble for trying to attack YFN Lucci, he's the guy that ratted out Young Thug, Gunna, YSL, and basically that guy, he got to YFN Lucci, but his plan was foiled because YFN Lucci already had people around him. Don't forget, YFN Lucci's already locked up in Atlanta, in Fulton County, on a Rico case. So he's got a whole team of people that's around him in that place, because outside on the streets, he had the same guys that was around him got locked up with him. So now they right there with him inside, and new people that came along. So they're not going to let anybody touch YFN Lucci. So when you go back and you look at the fact that the dude tried to do the hit, but he himself ended up getting knocked out and beat up and everything by the affiliates, the goons that hang around YFN Lucci that are there to protect him on the inside. So once that happened, the COs and the wardens and everybody, they came to basically pin down all the guys that were fighting. And once they got them all separated and it was time to put the paperwork together, they basically broke down all the guys and said, who started this? Who told you to go here and there? Y'all looking at never being released. Like, some of those guys, they could have been released at some point, but now not anymore because they had gotten to the fight. So basically they want to know, hey, if y'all tell us, who started the fight, who was in the fight, then we're going to, not make it so that you don't get the full punishment and never be released, but you might still have a chance to get out on parole or something like that, right? So then the guys start telling, because if they don't tell, they're looking at the charges on them being wrapped up in the whole Rico, because they can get wrapped up in the Rico for being the guys that attempted to do the hit. Like, they'll be person number 1 and 2, basically, right after Young Thug and Gunna. So y'all got to look at the fact that those guys didn't want to do any more time, so they told on Young Thug and Gunna. Young Thug and Gunna also didn't want to do any time either, so that's why they're telling on each other, or they're trying to find a way to just blame it all on the street guys. Because as you could tell, from Gunna's interview, he said YSL is just his brand that he signed to. It's just a record label. It's not what they think it is. It wasn't why, they brought him together and put him in Fulton County. The Young Thug is trying to explain that this is just a company that he makes music for and pays him his paychecks. But then again, it's like, well, that's the same YSL, and y'all still talk about the same and hang around the same people as the guys who are in the streets killing for YSL and doing drills for that reason and everything like that. It's a crazy situation with Gunna turning himself in, man, because he was about to go and do one last show and make one last money move to get everything in line to put on his books. But one of his homies, man, they had the reward money that was too much, so they set him up and basically dropped his location to the anonymous line that they said to call. And the dude called it, one of his best friends, and basically just snaked him and no pun intended, he slimed him one last time. And going back to that too, they tried to trend this thing called slime, and everybody was saying slime this and slime that, and just sounded so dumb when you're speaking. Everybody was talking about their slime and whatever like that, acting like a whole character or somebody that they're not even. Like, I don't know who these people try to be or what they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, that slime stuff, they're not saying it no more. And they're going to catch on to some new dumb saying that somebody's going to get that tied up with some stupid stuff doing in the streets. And basically, everybody that been saying slime and this and that, they're lucky that they're not tagging you in it too. Anybody who tagged slime on Instagram, hashtag that or anything like that, like, they look dumb now, because it's like, y'all did that for nothing. Look where it got them, and it definitely ain't getting you nowhere. So that's crazy. And other than that, man, everybody now, all them Gunna fans, and they just gonna go just ride on somebody else basically. Like, you gotta understand that some of these guys, all these rappers, they're basically coming after all of them now. Like, you're gonna see, because they brought up Lil Baby's name into all of this, and who's to say that they might get Lil Baby next, or Lil Baby has to turn himself in, because these guys are terrible street dudes who never could make it in that, and so they decided what they were going to do is to cap or to just flaunt anything that they did do. Once they got some money, then they took their money and went back. And then it's easy to get involved in the streets when you already got money, because everybody's looking at you like, oh, I could make money off of him. And at the end of the day, we just gonna hit a lick on him before he gets busted. So that's exactly what's going on, man. And a lot of people were telling us around that whole situation. You got to understand, there was a lot of busts that were going around that happened the week before everything that you guys heard on the news. Like, they were busting, and a lot of people were getting flipped and turning against YSL. And that's basically where everything started, bro. And it all started with, like, I think, 42 Doug and all them, like, they could have had something to do with it too. Who's to say that one rapper could have snitched on another rapper to try to get a lesser sentence? It happens all the time. So stay tuned, man. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to catch you back on the next video.